Throughout history, conflicts have erupted between nations, often leaving widespread destruction and shaping the destinies of countless lives. However, not all wars are fought directly between two opposing nations. Sometimes, conflicts arise where powerful countries engage in battles indirectly, using other parties as their proxies. These conflicts, known as proxy wars, have become a recurring feature in the international system, especially in the 20th century. Proxy wars are conflicts where major powers use third parties as substitutes instead of engaging in direct combat with each other. These third parties can be countries, armed groups, or even individuals. Major powers often provide their proxies with financial resources, military training, weapons, and intelligence. The Cold War, a period of geopolitical tension between the United States and the Soviet Union, witnessed a proliferation of proxy wars. These conflicts were often characterized by ideological struggles between capitalism and communism, with each superpower vying for influence in different parts of the world. Proxy wars are complex phenomena with deep-rooted causes that often stem from a combination of factors. The desire for power and influence is a primary driver of proxy wars. During the Cold War, both the United States and the Soviet Union sought to expand their spheres of influence and contain the spread of the opposing ideology. Ideological conflicts, particularly between communism and capitalism, also played a significant role in fueling proxy wars. The Cold War became a battleground for these competing ideologies, with each superpower aiming to promote its system of government and undermine the other. Economic interests are often intertwined with political and ideological motives. In many cases, major powers engage in proxy wars to secure access to valuable resources, protect trade routes, or advance their economic interests in strategically important regions. The instability caused by proxy wars can create opportunities for economic exploitation. The Cold War era was marked by numerous proxy wars as the United States and the Soviet Union engaged in a global struggle for influence. One such conflict was the Korean War, which pitted communist North Korea, backed by the Soviet Union and China, against South Korea, supported by the United States and its allies. The Vietnam War was another significant proxy war, which involved communist North Vietnam, supported by the Soviet Union and China, against South Vietnam, backed by the United States. This long and bloody conflict had a profound impact on Southeast Asia and American society. The Soviet-Afghan War was another major proxy war during the Cold War. The Soviet Union intervened in Afghanistan to support a communist government, while the United States, along with other countries, provided support to the Afghan Mujahideen resistance groups fighting against the Soviet occupation. Proxy wars have had devastating and long-lasting consequences for the countries and populations involved. These conflicts often lead to widespread death, displacement, and destruction. The human cost of proxy wars is immense, leaving behind a legacy of trauma and suffering. Proxy wars can exacerbate existing tensions and create new conflicts, leading to regional instability. The influx of weapons and foreign fighters into proxy war zones can contribute to the proliferation of armed groups and fuel further violence. Proxy wars often have a destabilizing impact on international relations, as they heighten tensions between major powers. The involvement of multiple actors can complicate diplomatic efforts to resolve conflicts and increase the risk of miscalculation and escalation. The legacy of proxy wars can persist long after the fighting has ended.